You see things other people don't. This is not a compliment. It is a diagnosis. You walk into a room and you feel it instantly. The unspoken tension between a husband and wife. The hidden resentment behind a colleague's forced smile. The desperation beneath a confident presentation. It's not a guess. It's a knowing. A constant, low-level broadcast of emotional and psychological data that no one else seems to pick up. You see the lie behind the carefully chosen words. You see the fear behind the anger. You see the ghost of a past trauma silently shaping a present conversation. For most of your life, you've probably thought something was wrong with you. Why are you so sensitive? Why do you take things so personally? Why can't you just relax and enjoy the party like everyone else? The world has likely labeled you as too intense, too serious, or overthinking it. And so you learn to doubt yourself. You learn to stay quiet. Here is the truth. A truth that might be hard to hear at first, but one that will ultimately set you free. You are not broken. You are not imagining things. Your perception is not a flaw. It is a superior function. The great depth psychologist Carl Jung studied people like you obsessively. He called this differentiated perception. He found that a small percentage of the population is born with a psyche so finely tuned, they don't just feel emotions. They perceive the unconscious itself. They see the hidden patterns, the archetypal forces that drive human behavior. And Jung called this discovery ... dangerous. Because this gift, if left unintegrated, will not make you stronger. It will destroy you. This journey into the nature of your perception requires honesty. So let's start with a roll call. Go to the comments and simply write, "I see it too." No explanation needed. Let's see how many of us have been living on the same secret island, thinking we were the only inhabitant. Now that you know you are not alone, let's understand the nature of your exile, and more importantly, the path back home. To understand why your gift feels like a curse, you must understand the world you live in. Society, families, and organizations do not function on absolute truth. They function on agreement, unspoken, unconscious agreements. There is a collective consensus to ignore certain things in order to maintain harmony. We agree to ignore the boss's incompetence to keep our jobs. We agree to ignore a family member's addiction to avoid a painful confrontation. We agree to pretend our friends' relationships are happy, even when we see the cracks. These polite fictions are the glue that holds the social fabric together. You, with your differentiated perception, are a threat to that fabric. You are a walking, breathing lie detector. Your presence alone disrupts the comfortable illusions that allow groups to function. You don't even have to say anything. People feel that you see them. They feel exposed, uncomfortable, judged. And the human psyche has a very predictable and brutal way of dealing with this discomfort. It doesn't examine the problem. It attacks the mirror. This is what Jung called the scapegoat phenomenon. You become the designated problem in every group you enter. Not because you cause problems, but because you reveal the problems that are already there. You get blamed for creating the drama you are merely observing. This is psychological defense. As Jung wrote, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. But for most people, it is far easier to attack the person reflecting their shadow than to examine what's being reflected. Jung found something deeper and more troubling. The danger is not only being cut off from others, it's what happens inside. Your biggest gift can turn into your heaviest load. This is the curse of the main function. It's like having a radio that catches 1,000 channels at once. While most people hear one clear tune, you hear a storm of voices, emotions, hidden drives, and symbols. At first, it feels like too much. You can't tell your own feelings apart from the ones you pick up from others. You sense fear and think it's yours. You walk into a sad room and feel like you are the one who is sad. Jung called this participation mystique. In this state, the line between you and the world fades. You take in so much that you lose touch with your real self. This leads to the third and most dangerous aspect of this war. The battle is not just outside you. It is a civil war within you. You start to doubt your own perception. Am I crazy? Am I making this up? The world tells you that what you see isn't real. And because you are isolated, you have no one to confirm your reality. So you start to believe them. You start to suppress your gift. You try to be normal. You pretend not to see what you see. This is an act of profound self-betrayal, and it is the beginning of a slow spiritual death. Because a seer who refuses to see is a man at war with his own soul. Jung saw 4 ways this flood of perception can show up in people with strong introverted intuition. Knowing which one fits you is the first step to balance. Type 1, the feeling intuitive. They don't just notice emotions, they carry them. They soak up the moods of others and often can't tell where their own feelings end. Type 2, the thinking intuitive. They spot hidden patterns in people and events. They can sense when a relationship or job is heading for collapse, often long before it happens. It's not logic, it's instinct. Type 3, the sensation intuitive. They feel the body signals of others. They may sense sickness before symptoms show, or pick up on tension in a person's posture. Type 4, the pure intuitive, the rarest kind. They see everything but can't always sort or express it. They live in constant overload, flooded with impressions they struggle to put into order. So how do you stop this war? How do you turn this curse into a gift? The answer is not to see less. It is to see more wisely. It is to develop a conscious relationship with your extraordinary ability. Jung called this the process of individuation. It is the journey of becoming whole. It requires 3 acts of courage, 3 new weapons for your arsenal. The first weapon is the shield of discrimination. You must learn to distinguish what is yours from what is theirs. This is the most fundamental and difficult task. Jung instructed his perceptive patients to practice one thing relentlessly: solitude. You must carve out time every single day to be completely alone. No phone, no music, no external input. In that silence, the noise you've absorbed from the world begins to settle. And beneath it, you can start to hear your own quiet, authentic voice again. In that solitude, you ask a simple question: what am I feeling right now? Is this feeling mine? Or did I pick it up from my boss, my partner, the stranger in the coffee shop? This practice is like building a psychological immune system. You learn to identify foreign emotional content. You learn to observe it without becoming it. You build a shield, not a wall that blocks everything out, but a semi-permeable membrane that allows you to consciously choose what you let in. Jung wrote, "The first task is to establish what belongs to you and what belongs to others. Without this discrimination, there can be no individual development." The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. Carl Jung. The second weapon is the shadow pact. Jung discovered a profound and often disturbing truth. People who see others' shadows so clearly often do so because they haven't integrated their own. The more you deny your own capacity for anger, for selfishness, for cruelty, the more disturbed you will be when you see these qualities in others. Your sharp perception of external darkness is often a projection of your own unacknowledged inner darkness. Shadow integration is not about becoming a bad person. It is about becoming a complete person. It is the courageous act of acknowledging that you contain every human quality you observe. You have a liar, a coward, and a tyrant living inside you, just like everyone else. When you accept this, when you stop pretending to be pure, something magical happens. You stop judging others, because you see their struggle as a reflection of your own. Your perception is no longer a tool of judgment. It becomes a tool of compassion. You see the wound behind the anger. You see the fear behind the arrogance. And you can engage with people from a place of profound, unshakable understanding. The third tool is the art of translation. Perception is a gift, but if you use it without care, it can wound you and others. You may see the truth with sharp clarity, but if you drop it like a hammer, people will fight back. They will resist. They may even turn on you. That's why you must learn to translate. Speak in a way that invites, not attacks. Jung himself learned this through struggle. He compared Nietzsche, whose piercing vision ended in collapse, with Meister Eckhart, who shaped deep insight into wisdom that could feed others. This is not about lying. It's about care and strategy. Instead of saying, "You are defensive," you can ask, "I sense this feels hard. What's going through your mind?" Instead of saying, "Your plan will fail," you can offer, "I see a risk. Should we think of another path?" When you frame your insight as a question, you give people space. You offer medicine, not poison. That is how your gift stops isolating you and starts connecting you. You move from being a seer to being a guide. You are not born to suffer in silence. You are not born to suppress your gift to make others comfortable. You are born to see. Jung believed that individuals like you are essential for the evolution of human consciousness. You are the advanced scouts, the early warning systems for humanity. You feel the collective problems first and most intensely. Your personal symptoms, your anxiety, your feeling of alienation, often reflect what the entire culture needs to address. You see what the collective consciousness is not yet ready to acknowledge, helping to prepare it for necessary developmental steps. This is a profound responsibility, but it is also your greatest purpose. The question isn't whether you should hide your perception to fit in. The question is whether you will develop the skills necessary to wield it wisely, to become a bridge between what is and what is becoming. Jung wrote, "The individuated person serves the collective not by sacrificing their individuality, but by developing it so completely that it becomes a gift to the whole." Your journey isn't just for you. It is a service to the world. Your gift is not your burden. Your unconscious relationship to your gift is your burden. Learn to integrate it consciously, and you become exactly what humanity needs. A consciousness pioneer, someone who helps make the unconscious conscious before it manifests destructively as fate. You are not too much for this world. You are exactly what this world requires. The journey is to transform your overwhelming perception into integrated wisdom, to turn a psychological curse into an evolutionary contribution. If this message has found you, if you are tired of feeling broken for being awake in a sleeping world, then it is time to claim your role. Join the others who see. Go to the comments and make your declaration. Write, "I am the mirror." It is a declaration of your purpose, a commitment to seeing clearly without apology. Subscribe to the Thinker's Codex. It is time to bring your vision to the world.